What's going on, guys? Here with you is Ani Umana, and this is All Access with ISO Ani. And this is week 3. I'm getting more comfortable, getting back to the acapella, just talking for 30 minutes. And man, this past weekend I was doing some double dipping. I was working, site directing, and I was getting to watch a lot of basketball. So I got to watch the Rumble in the Plex that was hosted by TJ Thomas of Texas Impact with a lot of high level talent. Team Curry, the UAA team, came out and got to see some really good matchups from the 2026 level all the way up to the 2024 level. Saw some good unsigned seniors. So I'm going to get to the standouts, touch a little bit on some recruiting notes, and I'm going to let y'all go. I only go about 25 to 35 minutes. So we're going to get to it. Right here, we're going to go our 2024 standouts. For the we got something messing up real quick. We got some anomalous malfunction right now. But again, before we really get started, and I forgot about this, please subscribe to the channel, our YouTube channel. That's ISO_Ani. Also subscribe to us at Texas Ranked on Twitter is Ani_Umana. And on Instagram, it's ISO_Arnie. So please support us. We're putting out more content. We've been a little bit slow this past week because we've done a lot. I've done some ISO Arnie interviews. I've done some voiceovers. We probably got about 2 months worth of content that we haven't even put out yet. That's how much. So just be prepared. Please subscribe to the channel. Support us. And I think I got it back going where I need to go. All right, perfect. So it's the Rumble in the Plex 2024 standouts. First off is TJ Birch. Was really good. He's a 6'1" guard, has about 6'6" wingspan. He gets to the rim anytime he wants. He's the best guard finisher I've seen in the state of Texas. I know I'm biased because I coach him, but really good against Team Trae Young had 25, and against Team Curry had 27 points. He's a bucket getter. He gets to the rim. He finishes. He's one of the most crafty guys around the rim that I've seen in a long time. Best finisher I've ever coached. But with max level has been good. I mean, he's done a great job with them in the New Balance Pro 16 League, and shout out to him just with his productivity. Braden Pitts is next. I messed up his misspelling on Braden, so I apologize. I put an M instead of an N. Braden with BMM. He's really came a long way. He was a homeschool kid. I believe he played for HSAA. Goes to high school, was more of like a spot up shooter. Saw a lot like that in between game, just the off the dribble creation, rising up and scoring, playing through contact, really moving without the basketball. He's really becoming a Division I type prospect. I think he's intriguing if you're a Division I school, and seeing the progress he's made even from February to now. There's a really considerable jump, and I think he's done a good job with BMM, and Brian's done a great job with him, Brian Newelly. Next, we got Jonathan Price with EAD. EAD had a good showing as well. Won some games, played some really tough, stiff competition. I thought Jonathan, again, is the kid that's really developed more of just an athlete. I think the skill level is coming along. The shooting's there, especially off the catch. Especially the corner three he's making consistently. He's confident. The mechanics are cleaned up. Off the dribble shooting still needs some work, and sometimes he can get goofy. Sometimes with his balance and coordination, but big time athlete, long arms, can make open threes, and I just think he's progressively getting better as a ball handler. Really starting to become more of a confident tertiary type ball handler. Was really more like a 4-5, honestly, in high school, and I think he's gotten better. Next, Isaiah Kalala. Isaiah played on Sunday against Team Curry. I mean, big time athlete. The shooting upside is real. I saw him make free throws, saw him make mid-range jumpers. The mechanics are clean. He's a kid that's very young for his age. I mean, right now, currently, he would graduate at 17. And I think his best basketball is ahead of him. Big-time explosive athlete with good above-average wingspan, blocks shots, dunks everything. His hands could get a little bit better. But Isaiah, man, I think he's a high-major kid. I think he's a high-major prospect. And I think, like I said, kid that young, I mean, he got cut at his old high school. People don't know that. I think got cut multiple times. And, just seeing where he's progressed in the last few years to now, and look where he's going to be in 12 months. Look where he's going to be in 24 months. I think that's what really intrigues me about him, because I've seen some more skill. AJ Borden from Family Ties. Another 224 goes to SGP, South Grand Prairie. Done a really good job. Just a big guard bully, kind of. Gets to the rim, embraces contact finish. The shooting's gotten a little bit better. Still, I think he needs some work on that. But AJ's done a really good job. Has led Family Ties in some good victories this past weekend. And another one, Trent Thomas. It was another one really could shoot the basketball for Family Ties. I like that Family Ties group. You know, they have quality guard play, better guard play than when I saw him in March, or that was late March. Good frontline guys, some shooting. They have a mix of everything that you ask for. Just if they all can just come together for longer stretches in the game, I think they could be really, really good. Next, we got Micah Robinson, for Southern Assault. I like Micah. He's not just a scorer. I've seen some real playmaking. I've seen he can really get to the rim and draw fouls and use his body. He has a big, strong frame, so he's a mismatch for opposing guards because he's a guard. He's a wing guard that can really handle a pass and really zips in, can thread the needle some. So Micah, I thought for the sample size I got to see him was really good. Jamie Benson, the other big for Southern. Everyone talks about Nick Cody, and Nick Cody was solid. But this was a weekend for Jamie Vincent. It's about 6'10", athletic. I mean, the way he just finishes above the rim, like it's effortless. He blocks shots. When he's playing, like with toughness and a motor, he has power five. Like, he looks like a power five frontline guy. There's always been consistency with him. It's always been a toughness thing with him. I saw it. I saw what it looks like when he is playing tough, when he is playing hard. Like I give praise to Delm Deal, who's also the head coach at SAGU, for what he's done with that team. I think guys like Nick Cody and guys like Jamie Vincent and a lot of other guys have really benefited playing with him, playing for him. I think Delm's done a great job with that group, and I think they've only lost 1 or 2 games in Adidas in the 3SSB. Jason Nathaniel for Team Curry, like him, like a big wing, can dribble. The shooting is getting there. I think it's gone better, but he's athletic. I think he has a good feel for the game. He defends multiple spots on the floor. Really like what he did, just out on the floor. Just impacts winning with just little things and even the major things. So make a highlight defensive play. Then they'll come down and just make the right offensive play, like the pass or cut timely and finish. So I thought Jace was, a high major kid. I know he's getting high major calls, but I think he's a no-brainer high major basketball player. Dorian Onuchekwa for Team Trae Young, just been consistently productive. I wrote about him in my 3SSB recap that's on ballslife.com. And, just a big post. You say a little bit more traditional, but I've seen a lot of face-up game with him. Can score, use his body, use spins, pump fakes, can finish with either hand. Just great touch around the rim. Dorian just been one of the most consistently productive guys in Texas, period. I would, if I look at just centers in the 24 class, just off the top of my head, I would put him number 1. I just think he's been productive consistently. And he's a mismatch. Like, Team Curry's big, and they didn't really have much of an answer for him, but to send to when they needed to. So really like how Dorian's been playing this past weekend, but just overall in the summer. Bo Aldridge, another kid I've been liking how he's been playing overall in the summer. Just went 2024. Productive lefty, can really score the ball, crafty. Like, I like his shiftness with his handle, his finishing. You never can just really read what he's going to do next. And so I really like kind of just the overall offensive package. Yeah, sometimes you can say maybe he's a little bit more of a chucker or he shoots the ball more than you would like, but man, he scores it. And I think he's just consistently showing he can score against any level of defender and team. So someone that's really seen his stock rise, and deservingly so. So that's my 224 standouts so far. So I'll take that out. I'll come back. We're going to go 225. Hopefully it's 225. Regardless of what it is, we're going to just rock with it. All right, guys? Okay, yeah, it's my 225. Let's see if it changes. All right, perfect. So we're going 225 standouts from Rumble in the Plex. So Shakir Pack with Dallas Mustangs. Quick second. shout out to Tony Johnson, Coach Ben, Coach Rod. That 16U is Mustangs are back. Mustangs are back. They're doing a really good job with the young group. I believe they have a really talented 2028 class. I didn't get to really see the 26 or some. And look, I covered middle school as well. But man, there's a lot of talent with that 16U Mustangs. Took Southern Assault 16s. It took an extra quarter, and it was Southern Death, and they lost. But Shakir Pack, he's the nephew, I believe, of Robert Pack, who played in the league, was a big time athlete in the NBA. Shakir Pack's a bucket getter. Tony even tells me, like, man, you come to watch him in practice, you don't think this kid can play. And then when you watch him in the game, he's just a gamer. And then he's just telling me the kid's just figuring it out. 6'1", got good long arms, can shoot the basketball, just a score at the guard spot. People really didn't talk much about that 16U Dallas Mustangs group, and I definitely want to highlight them. I think they've done a fantastic job. There's another kid on that team that I want to talk about as well. He's more like the table setter, and I really liked how he just kept everybody, like, he really saw the play before the play, and that's Torrey Mitchell with Dallas Mustangs. Sorry, I had to look at my phone, guys. Guard, stocky, just like he just sets everything up. Like he'll be like, hey, no, I want you to set the screen. Hey, you go corner. Just knowing how the defense is going to read when he attacks the rim, where the help's going to come and stuff like that. He defends. Obviously, like, I don't think he's in the greatest of shape right now, but I do believe, like, he's a player, he's a gamer. I think he's going to win a lot in the high school level if he's running your team. So I really want to talk about Torrey Mitchell. I want to talk about the Dallas Mustangs 16s. I don't think they got enough credit for how they play. And this is my first time watching them, but, I couldn't leave here without talking highly about them. Zayd Taylor from Max Levels. Another one you can say I'm biased. I coach Zayd. He does a really good job for my Taka group. But with Max Level 16s, I think him going down to the 16U group, that really helps him. Small, but real crafty, scores the basketball. You look at him, you don't think he can play, and then his stat line's like 20 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds, and he's every bit of like 5'9", guys, maybe 5'8". Just super productive in the games I watched against CG Wolves. I think he was in a close one when they played Family Ties as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, Zay was productive. Steals, assists, again, kind of like Torrey, just a guy that just really knows the game, can get to his spots, and he always he puts teams in chances to win when sometimes people don't even feel like they even have any business being in the game. So I really want to highlight Zayd Taylor on that. There's another kid, Jonathan. I don't know his name, about 6'8", from Max Levels. I believe got in the country about it maybe a couple months ago, a year ago. Runs the floor real well, turns direction really well, has some face-up game. I think long-term he can be really, really good. So I don't know his last name, but I did want to talk about Jonathan. Caleb Steggers for Southern Assault can really shoot the basketball. Goes to Dallas Jesuit, was fantastic as well, just with the shooting. Pete, more of a specialist right now, but I do see some like attacking closeouts, some 1, 2, 3 dribbles and get into a spot and scoring. I think down the road we'll see more of that, but I really like Caleb Steger. Also, Cam Carroll is another kid that he's been consistently productive on that 16U level. There was even talks I heard a little bit about maybe he could go play 17s, at some moments, maybe when they need him. But that's just how good Cam's been for that 16U group in the spring. That 16U Southern Assault has been really good. They had a great record in 3SSB, and Cam Carroll, Caleb Steger, and there's some other guys that just have been real positives for that group. And Cam is like a bully, like downhill bully physical guard. Des Jones for Family Ties, like Des, Dallas Pinkston kid. Talk about getting downhill. He's fast with the basketball in his hands, end-to-end speed, finishes, know how to use contact to his advantage and finish. Small guards is always about playing against length, playing against translatable size, right? And I think Des does a good job always being productive and being good against that. Shifty with his handle, can attack with both hands. And, I think the shooting is getting better, more of a streaky shooter at this stage. But, man, he's a competitor. I think he's going to have a big season at Pinkston. Dink Pate is obviously leaving, so guys like him, Jalen Dean, and Bryce Dixon, who I'm going to talk about later, are going to have big seasons at Pinkston, and I think they're a team in the playoffs. It's going to be tough to go against. Carol Dean OWE. This is me and Brandon Jenkins. This is one of our favorite guys. We just stumbled on, watched them play. Again, they were in a close one with Southern. Carell, I don't think I'm saying his name right. Carell, about 6'5", 6'6", shoots the basketball, big wing, like a three. Maybe you can say tweener, but no doubt, undoubtedly a three-man that can shoot the basketball. Luke Laskowski with Texas Impact did a good job just shooting, athleticism. Could become the better Laskowski out of all of them. I mean, they got I even forgot the names. So I ain't gonna say them, guys. I ain't gonna lie to you. I forgot them, but like both went to St. Mark's. I think one went to Penn. The other one I think went to prep school, and he's going somewhere else. Went to postgrad, went somewhere else. But Luke has a chance to be the best out of that three, and that's a talented group, talented set of brothers. So shoots it, athletic, a little bit stiff, but I think he's more flexible in the hips than he was a year ago, and I think he has a chance. He'll be a Division I basketball player, and I would like to see how he becomes long term. Dakota Terrell for Team Trae Young, about 6'7", maybe about 6'8", athletic, runs the floor well, has some good face-up game. Another kid that I'm interested to see where his recruitment goes ultimately. Could be a high major type recruit, but he has some skills to his size. Once he puts it all together, I would be interested to see what that all looks like. But like him, another one, DeMario Adams, that plays for Team Trae Young. He's another one. Just has size, shows moments and flashes of skill, just doesn't put it together on a play-by-play basis. But there's some real upside there. So now we're gonna go. I can't even tell you where we're gonna go next because I did not do the downloads all the way right. Like I didn't label them correct. I just kind of said it's like image whatever. So we're going to go, okay, no, we're not going to do others to know. We're going to end with that. Okay. We're going to go 2026. So this is going to be short. There we go. Perfect. All right, guys. Give me a little bit. And I can tell you some of the guys, even if it doesn't pull up right away. So that's 2026. Okay. Alex Barther. Well, we really got to talk about this kid and kid beneath him. Alex Barther has been one of the best 26s I've seen in the state of Texas. He's going to, I don't want to say that because they're just rising sophomores, but from what I saw, he's going to be up there as far as one of the best players in that class throughout. I don't see him being outside the top 10 throughout the whole time. Now, there's things that can prevent that. God forbid injuries and, other things that could come into play. Like, we've seen this before with players, guys. Like, I've seen this, so I'm not saying he's the next this. But from a talent perspective and just skill, he's 6'6", he's a guard. Legitimate guard with good feel as a passer, can shoot, athletic. I saw him grab a rebound, go to end, and dunk on the team. This kid has been – the performance I saw this weekend was one of the – just from a positional size and skill, it's one of the best players in this class. And I want to say people haven't talked about it. This is my first time really sitting down and watching him since Pangos in October in Dallas. And he was more like maybe he was that back then, but more of like a slasher, cutter, athlete. Now he has legitimate ball skills. He legitimately can be your primary and secondary ball handler. And I just was heavily impressed with him. Again, one of the best players in this class. It's 2026, so I'm not saying people need to talk about him a whole lot, but people need to keep tabs. In that class, he's one of the best. Davion Atkins, his teammate at Southern Assault, goes to Faith Family. Alex goes to Eastern Hills in Fort Worth. But Davion, Faith Family kid, about 6'7", maybe taller. Don't kill me, coach. Don't kill me about if I'm messing up on the size or the height. But long arms, athletic as hell. Block shots, runs the floor, has some offensive game to him, like some face-up ability. I think how skilled he becomes long term, how much he grows. Like the kid looks young. Just look, there's kids that are freshmen but look old. There's kids that may be 15 years old but are older. I always make this. I always have this saying that two kids can be 15 and one can be older than the other, and not by like birthdays. Like their body can be older than the other. He is built young, so high upside, crazy ceiling. He's going to BT, and BT does a great job just with player development. So interested to see where he goes. Amari Johnson plays 17s for Team Nation. Did a good job. I thought he showed a lot of. He was fearless against Southern Assault, even though Team Nation did get smacked pretty well. But a lot of people, Southern beats a lot of people pretty good. But was fearless, showed his shooting, showed his in-between game. I just like that he competed. Like he played through contact. Like he went to the rim and tried to just go at the bigs and stuff. Someone to know, especially a kid, he's still 14 years old. He doesn't turn 15 till June. He's younger than a lot of 2027s. So, shout out to Amari, really good job. Another kid, just seeing him develop with me, but I think he's done a really good job. This with his playing up. Trey Hodges for Dallas Showtime, bucket. He's a bucket getter. He's a guard. He's small, but he just gets after it, defends 94 feet. I think that Showtime group only had like 6 guys, and he just competed. And he just constantly went at the opposing defenses. So really like how Trey Hodges plays. I liked him at the circuit when they played in Easter, and I just think he's someone that, you just see how much he grows. You see, how further along as just a playmaker he becomes. But he has that Dallas Showtime like dog. He's a Showtime guard. Jackson Thompson, Texas Impact. He's a bucket getter. He's a guy that can really score the ball. Probably better playing off the ball right now because the decision making on it could be better, but can score it in bunches. He has good strength to him. There's another kid, I didn't get his name, that's on that group. That's just a dog. Probably only gets about 10, maybe 6 to 10 points a game, but probably just rebounds. I think the kid kind of had a black eye or something. Like he has scars all on him because he just plays super hard. I don't know his name, but I just want to talk about him. But Jackson's a bucket getter, good upside, good ceiling to him. They have another kid, Caleb Jackson. That's a 226. Again, built young. Would like to see where he ends up. Lance Williams, part of the Williams family. There's Trey Williams, who is currently at, I believe, Tulane. His sister is also a Division I. I think she's a senior. She's a Division I level basketball player, high level basketball player. So there's strong basketball bloodlines, and Lance has a chance to be the best out of them. He does have a chance. About 6'7", long arms, kind of goofy, but the handle is good. The shot is real. Just once he understands like balance and coordination, sometimes he just kind of leaves his feet and does some goofy things, some young things, right? But man, he's talented, athletic, competes. One thing I like about he competes. Yeah, it can be a little too animated at times, but I want a guy that he cares about winning. He cares about going at the opposing team's neck, and that's Lance. And I think, and all the Williams kids, they're like that. So. Thought he was really good. He plays for Southern Athletes. He played for Southern Athletes that weekend with my boy Royce. Not Royce, Angel Mendez. Jalen Germany goes to OD Wyatt. He's a talented, skilled guard. Came in, I think, this part of the second half of the year for OD Wyatt, or it was later part of this first half of the year. I like him. He's talented. Shifty with the handle. Good mid-range shooter. Solid defender. Good playmaker, can like thread the needle, no look passes. Just man, he can get to the rim because he's fast, changes speeds well and direction. Has a chance. We talk about guys that compete like Lance Williams. Bryce Dixon is one. He's an ultra competitor. I talked about him. I'll just mention a little bit when we talk about that Pinkston group. Bryce is just physical. He's strong. His perimeter game's getting better. I know sometimes probably he's more comfortable putting him at the 4, but I think he's developing better wing skills. Shots getting better. I definitely think it's something he just needs to continue to work on, but he can get to the rim. He can finish through contact. He defends. He rebounds. He talks his You know, I like that. I like he's like a guy that competes. He just competes. He loves basketball. He wants to work at it. He's intense about it. And you see that when he plays. Like you don't question that when he plays. So just seeing some growth in the skill set and seeing where everything could really come in at the end. Yeah, Bryce Dixon definitely stood out to me. Jadis Kofor, we talk about these bloodlines, these guys that played, that have got older brothers or whatever that have played. Jaden Kofor, you know, the Jamel was at SFA. Javen is he's going to play at a junior college. And Jadis, he's the youngest one. Played just like him, downhill, tough, guard 94 feet, you know, just mean, just mean and physical and tough. And he just has that. He just plays like a Kofor. More so like Javen. Jamel's cool. Like Jamel's like cool, but Jamel would dunk on you like in a heartbeat. But Jaden I like his toughness. I mean, he didn't like score a whole lot when I saw him play, but he impacts winning just because he's all about winning. He's all about like going at the defense and defending and making life hard for the opposing team. So that's a big thing. That's definitely a big thing. So now we're going to go to my others to know, and then we're going to talk about some recruitment, and then I'm gonna be out, guys. Okay, so others to know, Jonathan Bradley, he's a 227. So I mistakenly he's a 227 that played up, really good, talented guard, gets a lot done. I like how he just got downhill like that. He played up and he was effective. He was really effective just with his ability to use his speed, his craftiness with his handle, and he has some real crafty finishes versus length. And playing up, he did a good job. Ari Fulton, that plays for Team Curry, liked him too. Steady guard. I thought the shooting was good. I thought shooting was clean. I thought he can get downhill. I thought he made right decisions. I think he's a clean, solid playmaker, and he was just steady. I just thought he really is like he's like the X factor for them. I know Nazim Muhammad's son was hurt, so I felt like he kind of had to play maybe a bigger role this weekend, but I really like what I saw from him. Noah Daniels, who plays for Family Ties, 224 kid, goes to Grace Prep. Developing really more like a tweener right now, but really developing, perimeter skills and shooting. Shooting's got a lot better, especially in his mid-range game, and he competes. He plays through contact better. Chase Nelson, he comes from California, plays for that EAD team. Steady guard, can play on and off it. Probably better playing on it, but can get to spots. Very unselfish, willing passer. He's craft, like he's skilled, like he has like reverse finishes, and he just always keeps the defense at bay with hang dribbles and step backs and stuff. I'm really like what I saw from him. He plays like a West Coast kid. Christian Lewis for OWE, another guy, scores it also, but shows some really solid playmaking ability. Devin Boone plays for Dallas Showtime. The shot's gotten a lot better, goes to Red Oak. Shot's gotten better. Seemed like he's gotten better with his body and his strength. And he's really becoming, a next level prospect. He was so much more athlete than basketball player, and now he's actually developing the basketball skills. I say that a lot each episode. I say more athlete than basketball player, and I'm big on that because skill and feel is huge when you talk about that next level. You talk about the next level, skill and feel is huge. Other guys like Croy Cox, plays for Team Nation, had a really good showing his 2 games. Nick Cody, I thought did a good job, just Nick Cody being Nick Cody, but I thought I saw some other things with him. I saw more of the ball handling, like igniting breaks after rebounds and stuff. Jazz Henderson was really good, that plays for Southern Assault. I mean, you talk about table setters, he's one of them. He's the ultimate table setter, ultimate traditional guard that competes, all about winning. If you're a guard that's more your prototype, you need to watch Jazz Henderson. Jazz Henderson is the ultimate winner, and he's unselfish. He's smart. He's going to probably go Division I and play. I talked to his dad. He got some stuff shaking. Great kid, big time individual, big time guard. Just doesn't get enough credit for what he does. But all right, guys, so that's it. That's my Rumble to Plex. TJ, you owe me one. Broke it all the way down, but I do also want to highlight guys because I think the class and the talent in Texas is so deep. The 24 class isn't the greatest with depth, but that 25 and especially that 26 class, people don't talk about that 26 class a lot because they're freshmen, they're rising sophomores. But there's a lot of talent there. I think guys need to really watch. Some recruiting notes. Let's switch gears. Let's get to the recruiting notes. And next episode, I'm gonna have a graphic for you guys. So we'll make it all work out. But Damian Collins is going to LSU. I know like TCU was involved, Wichita State. I believe I heard Oklahoma State was interested. LSU, they've been heavily interested in him for a minute. They liked him out of high school. So shout out to Damian. He's going to a place that I think he can play. They'll let him be him. And also, I know he's like developing more of his like perimeter skills, you kind of saw that a little bit. Saw that Coach Cal was trying to, kind of put him in a position where he's more of he's a driver and stuff. And he also can show his athleticism. Junior year, big year for him, and I think we're going to see more of his game. I think he's going to unleash the athleticism and see more of like the slashing, cutting, some driving type things, because I know he's a worker. Another one like Ron Holland. We talked about Ron in the first episode. He took a visit to Ignite. Again, he's a kid that I think is going to be successful wherever he goes. I just like Ron. I like his competitiveness. I like his fire. Wherever he goes, he's going to be very successful. And then, that's really it. You got guys in the transfer portal. Again, there's some other guys I'm not going to really say that kind of enter draft, but kind of put their name in the portal, remain the eligibility, and put their name in the portal. We're going to start seeing more and more this week. I really believe. I think that, excuse me, guys, the cutoff for when they have to make decisions coming up, I think it's like the 30th or something like that. Correct, don't quote me on it, but I think this next week or so, we're going to start seeing guys like, okay, we have to go here, or we're going to stay in the draft, or we're going to hit we already had our name in the portal. We're going to hit the portal. So you're going to see a lot. Going to see a lot of stuff kind of shaking this next week, and we'll talk more in depth about that. I'll have a graphic. So this next week's episode is going to be heavily on just the recruitment. Just like the transfer portal stuff. I know that's what coaches want. Listen, I'm talking about high school kids, guys, and college coaches call me all the time about transfer portal. So that's just the reality is I'm not going to go in depth about it. But that's what we're looking at for next week's episode. Then after that, I'll be at Pangos All-American Camp, so I'll have a lot of content for you guys there. Just going to break down my June schedule, TABC, have stuff for you guys there. Then I'm in Orlando for MBPA Top 100 Camp. I may not have an episode that week. I probably will. I'll be done early, but I can talk to y'all about what I'm seeing and stuff like that. Then I go straight to Charleston, South Carolina for Adidas. And then we got 3-Step. I know they're doing some stuff, and NBA Summer League. So I'm be traveling a lot, guys. If I don't have an episode every week, just trust me that I'm on the road. I may not have good Wi-Fi, so I'd rather give y'all something with some quality Wi-Fi, so it doesn't sound like I'm stuttering or I'm off every other word. And before I close, being, site directing and watching, the basketball and seeing how the parents and just seeing how the refs and all them interact, it was really disappointing. I had a ref come up to me and said he almost had to threaten a parent that was mad at his calls about, a gun. He had to threaten him with a gun, like, hey, look, if you keep coming at me, I'm going to have to point my gun. And if I have to warn you again, then I may have to shoot. And I really want, I know when it comes to the scholastic, and that's why I'm not really talking a whole lot about the transfer portal, like the impact and all that. Y'all have heard it in so many pods, so you don't need to hear this from me. And we know how impactful it is. And I get it from a parent's perspective. It's like they want to see their kid thrive. They're trying to get their kid wants to play at the highest level. Every kid's dream is to play in the NBA or play college basketball. So you want that. You spend a lot of money. You spend about $50 a weekend to come watch your son play. I get it. But I am disappointed when I hear about parents fighting refs, fighting their coaches, fighting, like wanting to go to the car and all that stuff, like, or had to get threatened, like a ref has to threaten them with a gun. It's never that serious. And I'll be honest with you guys, information and intel is big. For a kid to be successful, their support system has to be strong. When you're going out there cussing out refs, or when you have a label that you're a crazy parent or you're unstable or the kid is unstable, and I say this all the time, you can only trick the game for so long. That stuff that comes out about a parent doing this or doing that, you're all ultimately hurting your son. You're hurting your child, son or daughter. You're hurting your child because that stuff's going to get back around. So when you act a fool, when you're playing for, I'll even say this, when you're playing for a different team every other weekend, if your son ever has the chance to get to that point or is getting recruited, what do you think that coach is going to do? They're going to call the high school coach. They're going to call, so who'd you play for? AAU. Well, if you didn't have a good relationship with the last coach you played AAU with, what do you think that coach is going to say to that coach? So what I'm saying is, I know I've been talking about referees, but what I'm telling parents, my overall point of the convo or the statement is, please be careful. Don't be the reason your son or daughter does not get a scholarship or does not become the player they are because of your foolishness. It's never that serious. It's basketball. Don't take something potentially away from your kid because you can't act right. If a ref makes a bad call, look, I don't blame him. I was watching some games and the refs made some horrible calls. I would have been upset as a coach. Like, I've been upset as a parent. Like, what are we doing? I get that. But there's always a better way to handle it. And at the end of the day, you can't change the call anyway. So what's up threatening the ref or trying to beat the ref up for? I saw that on Twitter. I saw someone trying to beat up. You can't change their call. So what are we doing? So parents, act right. Players, act right. I get it. It's a business. You got to go to where it's best. I'm not telling you not to move teams or whatever, but I want more stability within, like, summer travel basketball, even grassroots high school basketball gets there's like a negative view to it because they think it's this, and it's really not. It's not all bad. It's not all bad basketball. I saw some really good basketball. It's not all bad parents. It's not all bad kids. But I do see, and I'm just me doing this for almost 10 years now, I see crazy, out of control parents, how they act in public, hurt a kid down the road. I see when a kid doesn't want to be coached or acts a fool in public. I seen it hurt them down the road, and it messes up their money. So all I'm saying is, act right, guys, and reach your fullest potential, be the best version of yourself. And that's how I'm gonna end, guys. And that's ISO on